Thanks, John.
And Bron and I have worked so many hours together, and I'm introduce you. There you go. Thank you.
I can't promise to be as entertaining, but hopefully you don't want to be a unicorn, because this is where unicorns end up. You're wondering why they don't exist today. This is why. What we want you to be is the best you that you can be. And I think that's an underlying concept for Plain. So my part of this presentation is to take the inspiration that Dean's given you and bring it back to Plain and tell you a little bit about where that fits in your learning. Oh, yeah, that's right. This slide is meant to address a piece of research that I've been working with other people on, and there seems to be a lot of funding and focus put into developing pre-service and beginning teachers as if they're going to take the whole responsibility for reforming education. Now this slide describes the trajectory most beginning teachers take in their first year. And they're not the change agents in schools. They're trying to fit in, they're trying to find their way. They're carrying a huge responsibility just getting themselves established. So we can't be looking to them purely to make the next wave of change. We have to take responsibility for that wave of change and for supporting their ideas. So they're not the primary change agents in schools. And I want to speak here now about ageist comments. You know, a lot of people comment that, you know, we're just waiting for all that older generation of teachers to die, and then all the young teachers will take over. And as I look around this room at the innovators that are in this room, that's definitely not true. An interesting fact we found in our research with Quest Atlantis was that some 25% of teachers and were over 40 who took up using a virtual world in their classroom, and 40% were over 40, and then 25% of them were very strangely described themselves as mature practitioners, but then described themselves as only having been teaching in a classroom for 5 years or less. Can anyone guess why that would be? Could be. Better term. Dean represents one of these. Second career teachers. How many people in this room are second career teachers? Look around you at how many hands are up in this room. Now, that's some research I'm looking to do, because I think there's something about people who've been inculcated in a system that locks them down, that makes them adverse to change and risk. And those people who've come from other careers come with broader horizons. I don't know, but it's something we need to look into. There's also research that suggests the sweet spot for professional development to really make change in schools, and this is work from the Jans Cooney Centre in the United States, is 9 years. 9 years teaching. Not 9 years in your profession, but 9 years teaching is the sweet spot, because people are established and they're ready to move on. So this is what mature teachers have to take on board, to be able to use technology in their teaching. And it's a huge task and a lot to balance. So what we want you to become in Plain is a hero, because teaching is a heroic job. It's really important that we see what we do as heroic. It's important. We impact the lives of children who will go on to lead our country. So I'm going to talk quite a bit about this and how it can be lived out in Plain. So this diagram shows you the hero's journey, and it's the mantra or the underlying concept for a lot of different games and Star Wars movies and a whole lot of other things, where the hero goes on a journey from home, encounters challenges and supporters, finds community, finds their tribe, as Peggy Sheehy said yesterday, faces ordeals and frightening things, and seizes treasure along the way, returning to their homeland as a hero. Well, In the Campbell story, it's unclear whether you start as a hero or you become a hero. In Plain, we've assumed that you start as a hero because taking on all these challenges is a heroic effort. And that's another slide of the same hero's journey for those of you who prefer something a little more visual and perhaps tactile. But I'd like to introduce you to a few of the heroes in Plain, and I hope they're all here today. Is Jay Travascus with us? Well, if he's not, we're going to introduce you there to Jay. Now, Jay's the magician with the moves. Yesterday, Jay presented with some console game material that he's using in teaching dance and PE to kids using console games. And it was a fun, fantastic session. A lot of fun, doesn't take himself too seriously, but takes his job very seriously. And that's an important concept that I want to bring through all of these 4 people that we're going to meet. So he's teaching PE in a faith-based school. If you don't know Jay, look him up in Plain, friend him, and follow what he's doing. He has a page related to his presentation in the Permission to Play strand. Lisa. Where's Lisa? I can't see anybody in the room. Lisa Belfield, stand up, wave. Okay, Lisa's our code master, code cracker. Now, why, you ask? Well, because Lisa devoted her heart and soul to getting Plain learning content accredited. And I think you should all give her a big round of applause. And Lisa's a classroom teacher, like all of us, who's taken on that effort and has been instrumental in all of you being able to claim credit for the work that you do in the Plain environment. Kate Booth. Is Kate in the room? She didn't know this was going to happen. And I've deemed you the chief mischief maker there. Now, Kate's breaking all the rules because she's a pre-service teacher who's probably one of the most active leaders in Plain at the moment. And just to give her a little due there, for her and Lisa Jacker, they won the ACEC, Australian Computers and Education Conference, Best Paper of the Year with their work on virtual worlds. Very well deserved. And, you know, really cracking the trifecta there with primary school teachers writing about virtual worlds in an academic conference. So, brilliant work. And the 4th hero I want you to have a look at is Master Nom Nom. Can you stand up? Okay. And Nick really describes himself as the beastie that munches on all obstacles. And those of you who know Nick, he's been working with a lot of schools and teachers to overcome firewalls, network problems, filters, and tool integration in their schools. And he's the person who's actually going to make it possible, who's actually made it possible for many of you to use Minecraft in your school without having to go through the firewall. And that's really praiseworthy. Okay, so those are some of the people you'll encounter in Plain. And Nick, by 6 degrees of separation, because he's not formally a teacher, but he is here teaching many of you over the course of this conference. So that just gives you a taste of who you might find. And you're all heroes, all of you as members of Plain, but I just singled out 4 people who represent a span of ages, a span of different kinds of activity and heroic tasks. And so I wanted to tell you a little bit about the game layer of Plain. How many of you have been flying for your airline today, adding some points to the system for your airline? Okay, or doing the tasks in your Festival of Learning mission, which also gives your airline points. And I did notice very early this morning some activity must have been over breakfast, bringing up a few different, I think Aero Da Vinci was getting quite busy this morning. And SpiceJet, yes. Okay, so we have a game layer to Plain that's meant to do a whole lot of things. In one respect, it's motivational, it's recognition of your work, it allows you to see a progression through your activity in the community, and it allows you to recognise other people who may be of benefit to your learning. So it's coming down to that humanity that Dean was talking about. The technology is just the conduit for us to connect with each other. And this gives you an idea of the framework that we've proposed for those game levels. And many of the people in this room are already at beyond the starting hero level. But we've tried to build these levels against the kinds of things that you need recognition for with the Institute or with national standards. And so they're progressively getting more difficult, more intense, more responsibility, more leadership, more mentoring, more creativity instead of consumerism. So at the very earliest levels, you're exploring the playing environment to learn what's there. So the first level is really just exploring through the spaces, clicking around, seeing what it's all about. After that, we really want you to do some work and take on, as Seymour Papert would call it, hard fun in the community. And then you'll see the upper levels, Ninja to Maven, and who wouldn't want to be a Ninja teacher? Honestly, it's the thing to be. Put it in your CV. Okay, so these are the things we are planning for you, and we're going to be holding some focus group meetings with those of you who are really, quite a number of you who have commented a lot on the game layer. We want you to come in and help us build those upper layers and help us decide how to make that really meet the needs of teachers. And you can track your progress in the game through the interface. I was going to go online here, but I won't. But at this point, this is if you click on your name in the little widget on the very top of the screen, it will bring up this showcase. And you can see there the level that it's at. You can see the current Festival of Learning mission. I still have one task to complete, which is getting my 60 points, and then the other subsequent missions. And we've just started putting in place our attendance missions, and I know many of you have asked me about those. You will not lose them. We've just had to build a system to manually give those badges. But you can see here we're starting to get those people who've attended the boot camps have been getting their awards over the course of today. Last night I put all the attendance badges in for people who attended yesterday, and I will do the same during the course of today for people who signed on only coming to the Saturday, so that you'll get your badge to complete that mission. So we're using these trajectories as a fun way to engage with some very serious learning content. And it goes back to what I was saying about Jay. It's about not taking yourself so seriously. Take the work we do very seriously. And that's what we try to give you in Plane. So this comes back to my ageist comment. Planking, I love planking photographs. They just make me laugh. And I'm sorry it's a fad that's passed, but it was very, very enjoyable when it was very trendy. So don't take yourself so seriously. Be prepared to have fun. Put fun back in the equation. I watched teachers yesterday and try as hard as I could, even if I kicked off my girly shoes and ran around with the laser tag gun, I couldn't get most of you girls to do it. Today will be different. So what we want you to do is take today and make it the start of putting fun back into the equation. And here's some things you can do that will be a good start to that. Complete your festival mission and support your airline. You know, do you want SpiceJet to be the winners? Or do you want, oh, they do, but you want your airline to show up. And there may be, as I tweeted earlier today, there may be an incentive package for some of the teams that have lesser numbers in them or whose members haven't been so active. So we'll keep you in the mix. We want you to tweet out some fun compliments to people who you've appreciated over the 2 days of the conference. Give them a +1. Say thank you. There are lots of presenters. I haven't been out of the game lab, but I know all of the strands have been very well received. Well, tweet out a thank you to somebody and give them a little bit of fun appreciation. Change your profile pic to something fun, and I know people are getting customised avatars done. You can put those in. You may not get them all done by today to complete your mission, so just put in another graphic today to hold the place if you don't get it. Come down to the game lab and play a new game. We have kids working on a challenge today to design a video that would convince teachers to give kids permission to play. And that's going to be working on through today, and at the end of today they'll be presenting their video. So that's going to be great fun. And they're going to use any technology that they want. We're trying to go with the idea of not scripting or limiting what they can have. And come and play laser tag at lunchtime. Or otherwise you might just get shot sitting there eating your lunch. And we want you to consider dancing like a Korean pop star. Sometime today you will hear this. You want to play the video?
오빤 강남스타일 성숙해 보이지만 놀 땐 노는 여자 이때다 싶으면 묶었던.
Okay, sometime today over the PA you will hear that. And you will let yourself be silly. There's only 3 moves, and there are enough kids here who can do it. And by the way, what airline are you flying with? Because I think that's worth points, don't you? So I'll see you at the end, and we'll make sure your airline and you get credited for your bravery. But you're all heroes. Have a bit of fun today. Don't just plant yourself in the serious content. Be prepared to enjoy yourself, because that's, as Dean was saying, the element that's missing is imagination and fun. It's not about the technology. That's just our road to get there. But enjoying yourself and getting creative control back into your teaching is where it's all at. So thank you.